Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will discuss an important topic, that is the condition of Victorian women and the concept of angel in the house and fallen woman and new woman and the journey from fallen woman to new woman. So let's get started. Now the Victorian Age. Victorian Age, it basically starts from 1837 and it continues till Queen Victoria's death, which is 1901, and this age is named after her. In this era, lots of changes took place in regards of social, political, and moral aspects. Despite all these changes, there are limited rights for women, and the rights of women and the rights of men was unequal. We see in this era that at the beginning of this era there was women oppression, and latter half of the era saw the significant change, which the condition of the women was way more better as compared to at the very beginning of this era. And also there was class discrimination: upper class women, middle class women, and lower class women. Upper class women, they used to have all kinds of amusement. They used to go party, and they spend most of the time going party and knitting, and they had lots of servants to look after them. They had rights to educate themselves, and they had little bit opportunity of their career, whereas for middle class women they had no right to think about their career, and they are supposed to serve, to look after their husband, children, took care of their children and household chores, and they had no right to educate themselves. And the condition of lower class women was worst of them, and they used to work in factory, lived in unhygienic place, and some of them had to take the profession of prostitution due to extreme poverty. The condition of women was like this, and class discrimination prevailed in this era, and it was very rampant in this era. We will move into the concept of angel in the house. Actually, the angel in the house is a long poem by the poet Coventry Patmore, and you can see the excerpt here, and it was published in 1854. He actually wrote this poem to hold up Emily, you can see the picture, to set her as a model for Victorian women, and it basically upholds the middle class women values. And at the outset of the publication of this poem, it didn't get attention, but over time it became popular. And according to him, that women who can confine themselves within the four walls of the house, and who can consider their husbands and children only as their world, are considered angels. So he describes the Victorian woman as dedicated, submissive wife and mother who will serve unconditionally, and he praised women but from a husband's point of view. So the women is idealized as man's victim, entirely dependent on man in this poem. And but though it didn't get attention at the time, but it became popular as Queen Victoria's devotion to her husband Prince Albert and to a domestic life encouraged this ideal to spread throughout the 19th century. Towards the end of the period, many writers came and they opposed this ideal. And so now we move into the concept of fallen women. Fallen women, actually this term is used for women who lost their virginity or chastity before marriage. Okay, so a woman was labeled as a fallen woman following different situations, like some of them may be raped, some of them may have been forced to choose the path of prostitution as their profession due to abject poverty. Some of them may have had sex outside of their marriage, and it was problematic especially for the lower class women, not the upper class women or the middle class women. Most of the writers also exhibited the harsh and miserable condition of women by depicting this term fallen women. And many novels have been developed with the concept of fallen women as well as new women, as we will move into next slide. So the new woman, Mary Wollstonecraft, she was a feminist scholar, and she wrote a vindication of rights of women, where she displays the reason behind the fallen women, and she holds the patriarchal society as a reason for the fallen women concept. Actually, Victorian society was basically patriarchal society. She says that every woman at least take control over themselves rather than the society or the man. So because only it can bring freedom to them. And there are lots of novel written based on this concept, like Mary Burton, Elizabeth Gaskell, Tales of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, Oliver Twist and David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. So in Oliver Twist, the character Nancy and Agnes are shown as fallen women. The Nancy was good at heart and she supported the boy Oliver, but as due to extreme poverty, she had to take the path of prostitution as their profession. So she wasn't accepted by the society, so because of this she had to commit a suicide. So she was shown as fallen woman. Next we will move into the concept of new woman. So new woman, this term is coined by Sarah Grant in her article The New Respect of Women question. In the last few years of this period, the term new woman is advent for feminist, educated, independent, career-oriented women. Virginia Woolf, in her famous essay, she was a feminist writer and modern novelist, and in her famous essay, Room of One's Own, she suggests how a new woman should think of herself. New women should think of themselves. She argues that and wants every woman to have their own economic independence and a space. It should be a space and a room of their own. She wants every woman to have their own career, so that they can earn their own money and to fulfill their dreams, and a space of their own where nobody could enter or destroy their dream, and they can develop their artistic mindset, etc. And she gave importance more to it rather than the women's vote. Virginia Woolf was very eager to reject the angel in the house concept, and she opposes vehemently this concept. And in her another essay, Profession of for Women, she wrote that killing the angel in the house was part of the occupation of a women writer. So this is how the concept of new woman evolved, and there are many novels written based on this concept, like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte and The Awakening by Kate Chopin. And the characters in Jane Eyre, like Jane and Edna, are more rebellious character, and in Edna, in The Awakening, the character Edna, she made her own money as an artist, and with that earnings she was succeeded to take a rented room where she builds up her own career through painting and got chance to save her dreams. So this is the journey of from fallen women to new women that took place in this era, or we see in this era. And in the light of these vast changes, the journey or the progression from fallen women to new women plays a significant role in the evolution of women, both in society and in the literary world. Literary theories of Mary Wollstonecraft and Virginia Woolf have played an important role in the lives of fallen women and new women. The condition of women, though at the outset of the era was more oppressive, but at the latter half of the period of the Victorian period, it became more better as compared to earlier time. And that is all about. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps a lot.